Hi guys. So let's get started in this session on the conditional statements. Conditional statements are useful in making decision making statements. We already saw some examples with respect to these in our previous examples, but now let's get deep dive into it. Like, what does this mean? So it has this property of creating good decision making branches within our code that allow the flow of the program to be changed. So if some conditions occur, we can change the flow of our code to a specific direction. Python supports, in this case, the conditional statements to do this branching. We can also use the operators, the logical operators and conditional operators which we saw earlier to define the flow, like the equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, all those operators which we saw, and also the and or not based logical operators. All of this together plays a very important role. So let's see the overall structure. So first thing, let's understand the if condition with better details. So if statement, we have the structure of if condition colon statement 1, and like we can have n number of statements, statement n. Now what's happening here is, if our code will execute this block of statements only if this condition occurs to be true. If this condition becomes false, all of the statements will be ignored by the program. The program will not get into this part and will just simply skip to the statement again, like n plus 1. So whatever the lines that we have, the next set of line which is outside the if condition would be picked. So let's see one example. So one example is like, let's just have again a similar type of example where we say that earlier we said even, but weather equal to rainy. If weather equal to make it to rainy, we are saying please use your umbrella. So in this case, go out. So let's say we just want to go out and we are trying to check whether the weather right now is rainy. If it is rainy, it will say that please use your umbrella. If not, then it will simply go out. So we have our kernel already running. So let's run the code. So as we see, please use your umbrella and then go out. If I change it to sunny, I can run the code and now it says simply go out. You don't need to use umbrella because there is no rain, it's still sunny. So you go out. As you can see, the program simply skipped this line because the weather was sunny and it was not equal to rainy. Okay, so now let's look at the next part. What if we want to add more number of conditions? So if this happens, then do this. But if does not happen, this happens, you do this. Again, then again list of some statements. You want to only execute the one condition. You don't want to go with like multiple conditions. You only want like out of multiple conditions. If one happens to be true, you want to do that. So for that, we will be using elif condition. So the structure goes like this: condition 1, statement 1, and elif condition 2, statement 2. And like this, we can have multiple state of condition 3, 3. So this way, the statements can be multiple. You don't need like only one statement. So your code will simply go to that statement which the condition becomes true. If you have multiple conditions to be becoming true, the first one matching that condition would be executed. Okay, if you have multiple conditions which are true, then the first one would be executed. Let's see some example for this. So let's say we are creating an e-commerce application, and within that we want to classify customers based on their purchase history. Okay, like you mostly see that there is a silver, gold, platinum kind of customers, and all of that is decided within how much of spend you are doing. You'll get some special discounts based on the overall spending that you're doing. So we have like list of different type of categories, and the customer will only fall into one of those categories. He will not fall into a platinum and silver together. Mostly like either they will tag him to silver or to a platinum. So purchase total, let's say we are saying 5,000, and we can create a condition if purchase is greater is less than 100. We are saying regular customer. Okay, we are just saying if it is less than 100 it should be regular. And if purchase is less than, let's say, 1000, print gold customer, or like let's go with silver customer. And then elif purchase is less than uh, 5000, print gold customer. And then one more would be like, let's say elif if purchase is less than 10,000, we have one less zero here, print platinum customer. So what is happening here is you see that this is less than 100 and this is less than 1000. We are just saying less than 5000. So what will happen is the structure, the branching will only go into one of these. So the first one to be true, it will go into that. So if it is going into this first one, it will not look at even in the other ones. It will simply exit out of it. Okay, simply exit to the outside part. And if it is inside like any one of them, so then we are saying that okay, if it is less than 100 it will go into this exit, then it will check for next. If it is not this, it is false, then it will go to the next one. In our case, if you see, for 5000, less than 5000, it is first checking into this is false, then it is checking into this is false, checking into this is false, and then it will go into this and then exit. So let's run this and see what will happen. So we have a stake. Let's correct that. Okay, it's very important to see the error messages. Okay, errors are part of everyone's life, so you don't need to worry about any kind of errors. Many people, I see that the moment they see error, they get a panic that okay, I got an error. But everyone gets an error. That is a human tendency, so don't worry about the errors and just continue. So now let's run code, and I see that this is giving me a platinum customer. Okay, if I simply add equal to all of this, the slight change will happen into the flow. Okay, now what do you think will happen? It will go for the gold customer. Okay, that's how this branching usually works with the elif. The last part is the else. So in our example, we saw that elif. But what if the customer is not falling into any of it? Okay, so let's just first look at the structure of it. If condition statement 1, else statement 2. So as you see here, with if there is a condition, but with else there is no condition. So what does this mean is anything which is not matching if will go into the else condition. Okay, so just to extend our this example, first what we'll say is else print not a customer. Okay, but this will not usually happen. uh, okay, this will go right now into greater than 10,000. So we cannot call him not a customer, but let's call him something different, executive or a VIP customer. VIP customer, let's say. Okay, so his purchase total is like greater than 10,000. So we are saying it is a VIP customer. So what will happen is if I make it to 20,000 and then we run, as there is no condition to this, at the end when all the conditions are exhausted and still we are not able to get any true, then the else statement would be executed. So as you can see, it is coming as a VIP customer. Let's see one more example for this. Let's say you have a username and password. Your website needs to validate a username and password. So username is equal to ABC, password is equal to 123. Okay, and you are checking if username is equal to abct and password is equal to 123, print you are user authenticated. Incorrect username and password. So as you can see, this reading style that we have here, this reading style is very much similar to the way we humans speak. Okay, so if username is equal to ABCD and password is equal to 123, say that user is authenticated, else say incorrect username and password. So as we read this, it looks like very much humanly. So that's how we say that Python is a very humanly programming language. Okay, so in this case, if I execute this, it will say user authenticated. If I make some change here, it will say that incorrect username password. Okay, as you can see, this is how all these websites and any kind of a desktop based application, all of this will check for your details. So just to add a bonus statement here, these things usually come from the database. These things are stored inside the database, not this thing, but this thing. This is actually taken from the user input. This is the user input, and these values comes from the database, and we check whether these values are present as part of a database. If they are present, we say that user authenticated, else we say this. So same way, just slight structure will change here and we will add the database related components to this. Okay, with that we stop here and thank you for watching this.